That looked great. Oh.
Get ups. Come on, Chaparra, ups. Up. No. She really died this time. She's like, I was tired.
We're going to enter at this gate.
There we go. Let's get it. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
We're trying to test our shutter speed.
Do you want an
That's
actual
why we needed you to run.
Do you want an actual run? Yeah.
So this was our first class, and it was in the morning, and she looks amazing. Super happy with how fit she is. Believe it or not, she's got tons of muscle under there. She's really, really fit. And she held her weight. We always make sure we put a little bit of extra weight on him because the trip is like 16 hours, one way. And so always make sure that we put a little bit extra weight on them before we leave. And they are all on like Ulcer Guard, omeprazole, to help them for the stress of the travel and the stress of the event. We really want to make sure that they're feeling good, and they always have hay in front of them. And so I'm super happy with her condition. Little shout out to Excel Supplements. We use the Excel Pro Elite. It's an amazing oil, and it sure does a good job on keeping your horses feeling good and looking their best. So I was really happy with her here. It was kind of funny because Stormy was closing the gate as I was walking out. And I was like, she's following me, isn't she? And he's like, yeah. And so she was like, where are you going? Don't leave me here. So she's looking around a little bit, but she's a really good girl for me to put her halter on. I had no worry of catching her. She's one of those horses that like meets you at the gate every day, ready to work, ready to go do stuff. She just loves getting out. And so this I was a little bit unprepared for because normally we walk and we brush them, and they didn't do that this year. They kind of threw this little circle thing in. So I wanted to show off the best I can. You can see I have absolutely no, I'm not pulling on her. My lead is really short and so are really loose. And so you can see right there, I slowed down and see how she matched me. I didn't have to tug on that halter at all. I really wanted to show her off. I don't know if the judges noticed that. Apparently not. I ended up 5th in this class, and I think she should have done better. But it is what it is. And she's one of the few that stood really still to have her feet picked up. I probably could have done this slower. I was nervous. She wasn't. And so I probably could have done it slower because obviously she's not going anywhere. She's such a good girl. And but yeah, I don't know if the judges noticed that I, had slowed her down around that circle. I was trying to show her off that she just really follows me and stays right there at my shoulder. And then this was so cute, her little tiny jog. Nice and straight. She stops perfect. And then she backs up nice and straight. So I think we ended up 5th. We probably should have been like 3rd, in my opinion. But still a solid run. The only bobble that she had was this trailer. She just hesitated getting in. There was no refusal. She just needed a minute. And so I just kind of gave her a second and then asked and then let loose the lead rope. And she's like, okay. She's always been more than happy to get into anything or to do anything or go over anything. She just needed a minute to look at it. And unfortunately with this show, like you have to be perfect, or I have to be perfect. Other people apparently don't have to be perfect and they still get scored high, but I have to be perfect. So I could not have been happier with that. And I don't know if you can hear it, but Naomi and Ellen were screaming. They're just the best cheerleaders. I love them. And so here's our second class of the first day. And this one was in the afternoon. And she I'm not sure what was happening, but everybody was spooking at that like first little sign. So she just kind of had like she's kind of moved over to the side a little bit. Like I wouldn't even call it like a true spook. And here she was being a little wobbly. So I didn't really see like, the scores were just kind of mediocre on that trot. And what was disappointing because that was like her only real bobble was that, and is that she scored really low on this lope. And I just want to say maybe it's because she's gated. That stop was really pretty. This was kind of weird. Like she just kind of swung her butt out, and I was like, "Why are you swinging your butt out?" Um, and then there's apparently this spot right here was not judged, so it didn't really matter what she did. As soon as you hit the walk, though, now that part's judged right here. And she walked nice and forward and straight, and that wasn't scored very well. It's a nice walk, and then she just loped right off. And same thing, this lope didn't score very well. I think we ended up like 14th in this class, which is crazy to me because there was like legit horses like bolting and taking off that like scored better. So I don't know. And here's her, she's gating a little bit, and I'm trying to get her to trot. And unfortunately, she just gets penalized for that. And it's not really fair, and it's unfortunate. It still kept us, I think we were maybe sitting 8th after this class. That back was lovely. I was super happy with that. And so it still kept us in top 10. We were still sitting in top 10, even though they scored her really low in that class, even though she was solid and she wasn't spooking. She was a good girl. Here's Trail. Trail's the next morning, and I was a little bit worried after placing so low. I was like, oh man, we have to really do well in Trail. And this I thought would be her best class. Like she's just phenomenal in Trail. She's great with obstacles and doing anything in like little turns and tight stuff. So, and this was kind of fun. Like, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my halter. I just like threw it. And I really needed to use that mounting block because like especially with my nerves, like I don't really like getting on horses from the ground anyways. I'm so happy. Look how cute she just put her little head down for her bridle to get back on. She was one of the few horses that did that. And see, watch her little foot hiked up too. She's just like so relaxed in there. So happy with her. She stood perfectly still for all of this. It's just such a good girl. And so I needed to use mounting block. I don't know why I didn't just pick it up and put it inside that circle. I didn't know what I was doing with that thing. And so she was confused because she's like, I'm supposed to be on the other. She knows she's supposed to be in the front of that mounting block. So she was trying to go in front of it because that's what we practice. See, she's like, I'm supposed to be over here. And I'm like, no, I need you to stay over here. So she's like, oh, okay. So it was my error, not hers. She's such a good girl. She was just trying to do what I asked her to do. And then she stands perfectly still on a loose rein. I could just like get on her here, and she's just like completely still, doesn't move. And then I awkwardly have to like move over so I could do the next maneuver. So I had to like put her over here, and she's like, you want me to do what? I'm like, just put your butt over here. Cause then you're supposed to do like a 180 turn, which she did there. And then she did this turn really nice. This is really cute. She's kind of turned really nice right there. Good girl. And now, hindsight and all that, I'm like, she could care less about this darn slicker. I could have I didn't realize like some of the other trainers were kind of showboating a little bit. And I should have, because she totally would have been fine. I could have swung that thing around or helicoptered it or put it on her butt or something, because she would not have cared. And I should have showed her off a little bit better there, I think. I did have many people tell me that they thought she was one of the top 3 in this class. We ended up 7th. We ended up literally behind somebody who didn't even get over the bridge. So I don't know. One ahead of somebody who didn't get over the bridge. So I'm like, okay, sure. This was the weirdest scoring at this competition. But so she does great on the gate, super happy. This little trot over these poles, you can't hear it because I turned the volume down, but she did hit one of the poles. She just kind of hit like a little click. Trotting poles, trotting is not her thing. She struggles with it. And then it just kind of does this little loop around, and then we're supposed to pick up the left lead, which is crazy. And then she just freaking killed this pinwheel. Like just perfect. Didn't touch one, right in the middle. And then here I'm trying to keep her straight because she's like, what are we doing? And I'm like, we're going to go here and stop. She's like, oh, okay. And she backed up super nice. She's just trying to listen. She's like, you could tell she's a little worried. She's kind of fussy with the bit there. There's still green horses, so she still does little green horse stuff like that. And then she walks forward here, and you can't see it as well from this angle, but she just was really looking at that bridge. She's like, whoa, what's that? And I was just like, come on, let's go. And so she's like, okay. And so I almost pushed too hard and she almost wanted to trot right there. But we ended up seventh in trail, which is interesting. It's Citro and I over here, me telling him, get away from me. So that Chaparra is really good friends with Sabrosa. And I'm like, go away. And the girls thought we were like, I don't know, making some kind of plan or something. And I'm like, no, Citro, get away from me. It's too funny. So this is our compulsory, and this really sucks. So she was a little bit tired. I was trying to keep her straight and trying to push her forward, and she wanted to gait a lot by this time. She didn't want to lope as much. And so, but that was a good stop, good backup. It was actually a pretty decent little rollback. Ice got scored really, really low here. And looking from the side, this isn't as bad as it looks from this angle. She didn't really want to do her turn. And she kind of got a little bit confused here when I was trying to do my side pass. And she's like, you want me to turn? I'm like, no, I need you to side pass. She's like, oh. And so she side passed. So she had a little bobble there. There was her side pass. And then here's her other turn. She can actually turn really nice. And she just kind of gets stuck here. And then she turned. Oh, she's like, oh, I remember how to turn now. And then she did her little side pass. And then she lopes off here, picks up the right lead. And I'm just like super disappointed in the scoring because it's actually a pretty solid round. And they scored us like, I don't know, 15th or 16th. They scored us so low in this that I would have had to have done like a perfect freestyle to not be last place. And see right here, she starts to gate. You see her pacing right there. And then she gets back into her lope, and then she kind of switched. So
showing halfway through the show this evening, it is going to be hit number 15, Amber Esper.
Chaparra, we're going to be with the grand champion. William, this is the grand champion. Say hi to Chaparra, the grand champion. Hi, Chaparra. Are you going to kill it tonight? You're going to knock him dead? You're going to fall over dead.
Don't spoil the. Go for it. She lunged for it like 4 times. She's like, where's my weed? Vienna, she looked at it. No. You gotta get her attention.
There's nothing.
Get her attention more.
5:45. Those are so awesome. So I was thinking we could just see like, so how she smell this pop.
We, that's nice.
I'm like, yeah, we're selling her. So there. He's like, do you want to sell your horse? And I'm like, I want her to go have a happy home.
Yes. No, bite.
This is special. This is a U.S. Army veteran, Amber Espinoza and Chaparra.
So I had to turn down music because of copyright stuff. So we're supposed to like lope down, and you can see she's like so tired. Like she's just started to gait and then trot. And then so we have stop and a back, and then with a little bit of a side pass. She backs, such a good girl. She backs so nice. She could care less about that camouflage little thing too. And just wave her little veteran flag around. And this whole freestyle was kind of a tribute to my dad who just passed away. And I grew up listening to this music and watching movies like Full Metal Jacket, Platoon, and Hamburger Hill and stuff like that. And so this was just kind of remembrance of him. And I kind of wore his dog tags too when I went and did this freestyle. And so that it just had a lot of meaning to me. And so we were supposed to do like a lope and then a simple lead change. And she was just kind of squirrely and she was just kind of done and just tired. And she was doing her best. And I was just trying to get out of her what I could. And then we're supposed to stop and get off and have her lay down. And I feel so bad. So the idea was that she was being shot here. So like she was being shot down. And so I feel so bad that her head turned so far. I was trying to get her to fall down like in the movies. And she just kind of took a minute. I feel so bad. I didn't realize how much her head was turning there. And then so here we were like taking cover. That's what we're doing here. Poor thing. She's like breathing so heavy. And she's such a good girl. And then you can't hear it, but then I have like a helicopter coming in, a helicopter sound. And so I'm like waving down the helicopter to come rescue us. And so that's kind of like the story there. And she gets up and then we were like so far away from the darn beanbag. We're supposed to be stopping pretty close to it. So I'd like try to get her over there. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to take off my jacket. That's part of it. And they're like rushing. This time goes by so fast. And then I feel kind of bad because I got so disoriented. That box around the beanbag was to kind of orient me. And I thought I was closer to the other side. And I wasn't. And so I feel so bad that I kind of shoved her in this corner. And she's like, this is not right. And she was still trying to sit down. And she was like, whoop, that moved. And so she just kept it together. She's such a good girl. So I just kind of moved her and then asked her to move her butt over. And she's like, oh, yep, oops. And then now she sat down. She's like, yeah, this is better. So then she sits down like such a good girl. And I was supposed to, so I throw my jacket over her head, and I was supposed to walk around, but I ran out of time. So I was going to walk around, and she just stays sitting there, and she's such a good girl about it. And so the song changes to Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. And then she has her amazing hair from Mane Tresses. The link will be down below if you want to check them out. They're so cool. They make these mane and tail extension in color, whatever you want. And so, and then just do this little like jump. She's not a big jumper. She has a cute little jump, but she moves so close to the ground, but she will jump. And so I just like totally ran out of time because at the end, I'm supposed to do these like little spins. And so we jump over that and then we get like one spin in. So right here, and then it's like, Kiss the Sky, Jimi Hendrix. And then she does one little cute little spin here, which is like really, really cute. And then we're supposed to go again. So everybody really loved it. It was a lot of fun. The crowd was incredible. Like so electric. This crowd, if you were in the crowd, thank you. Because you guys were so awesome. The cheering and just fun. And she was such a good girl and didn't mind all the cheer. People running by. Like she's just amazing. I just love her.
We can put our hands together for our veteran. It's Amber Espinoza and her hip number 15, Chaparra. Once again, going home with $2,000 in a ribbon presented by Macy Blankenship with the Lone Star Ag Credit. Thank you for your service, Amber. Number 15, everybody, Amber Espinoza. Oh, Amber, how about this gray mare right here? 5th in handling and conditioning, 7th in the trail, our top 10 finisher tonight. And look at the hip, look at the conformation right here. We've got some pretty nice stuff. That big bone, big foot, big hip, short back, cute head. I kind of like this one right here. Friends, here's Amber Espinoza, hip number 15. This is Chaparra. Oh, top 10. I'm ready to get down. Give me 5,000. 5,000 to get a boy in the cute little package here. Nice gray bear. 5,000. $2,000 now. Give me 2. Give me 2. Give me $1,000 bill. $1,000 now. Give me 1. Give me 1. Give me 1. $1,000. Got 1,000. 12. Give me 12. 14. 16. 16. Give me 16. 18. Give me 18. 2. 2,000. 25. Give me 5. 25. Give me 5. 25. 3,000. 3,000. Give me 1. 3. 3. 3,000. Now give me 3. I'll take 7. 2,700. 7, Bruce got it. Now 3,000. 3,003, now 32. 32, 2, 5. 35, 5, 7, 7, 4. 4,004. 4,000, dig it, 4, down 2, 5, 7. 7, 47, dig it down, dig it 7, dig it 7, 5. 5, 2, 52, 2, 2. 52, 5, 55, 7. 57, we're dig it down, 27, we're dig it, you want me 7. 6, 2, give me 5, we're 65. 65, we're back, give me 5, we're digging down, 65, now 7. 7,000, 75, we're digging down, 75, we're digging down, give me 5. 75, I'm back, give me 5, we're digging down, give me 5. Now 8,000, I think you're out. 8,000, 8,000, now 8, digging down, give me 8. Keith, you didn't make it, you're out. Bruce got it, 75, 8,000, 8. Sell it, Bruce Miller's way, 7,500 left.